In this video, I'm redesigning my home office using only my iPad. From scanning the space, creating a 3D model of it, analyzing and sketching over it to pinpoint all the current problems, and designing improvements for the next version of this work from home setup. All in pursuit of healthier, more productive space for focused work from home. I don't know about you, but as a dad of two, I find working from home quite challenging, even though I have a dedicated space for it. After moving in 3 years ago and quickly setting up my home studio, it has slowly become an unorganized place with different work, unrelated things stored or simply dumped here, sticky notes and loose paper all over the place. It wasn't really a place of focus. And it took me a while to realize how much influence my immediate environment has on how I feel when working and how productive I am. I know, as an architect I should already know that, right? So I decided to do a makeover and rethink and redesign this small home office. Because I thought this was going to be an easy and quick project, I decided to use only my iPad for all the designing part. In this video I want to share with you how I thought about it, what were the problems, how I improved the layout and acoustics of the space, and finally show you a before and after comparison. What I thought would be just a few weeks long DIY project eventually turned into a few months of work, but luckily I did have help. Also, big thanks to Woodpasta for helping with this home office makeover and sponsoring this video. More about them later. The first step for me was to look at the current layout to see what's working, what I like to keep, and also what are the things that don't really work well and need change. To get the measurements of the room, I scanned it using iPad's LiDAR technology and a built-in feature in Morpholio Trace app, which created a 3D model to scale, which I can further sketch over. So I think about it in 3 layers: overall layout, furniture, and details. When it comes to the layout, it's not a big space, it's just 4 meters by 2.5, roughly 10 square meters or 107 square feet, so I need to be efficient with every centimeter available here. There are a few things that work okay and won't change much, like the shelves with mostly books along this wall. I love books, and the bookshelves work well for the background in my videos, where I can also have my own books on display. Another good thing is this room's orientation. Natural light is super important, and this window oriented to north brings pretty much ideal lighting during the working hours. Because it's oriented to north, it's not direct sunlight, casting hard shadows, but it's diffused, soft, and mostly stable during the day, which is great for all the drawing and video recording that I do here. And now to the problematic areas, and there are a few. The access to window is blocked. The maintenance corridor where I manipulate with tripods for cameras and lights is taking unreasonable amount of space, almost 25%. The corner behind the door has become just a mess, and even though I have a great ergonomic chair, the tables are not adjustable in height to switch between sitting and standing while working. Last issue that we cannot read from the floor plan is bad acoustics. Currently there are basically hollow walls. There is no carpet, no curtains, nothing that would absorb the sounds to improve the acoustics for all the recording I do here. So let's fix these issues and design a better version of this home studio. So instead of the messy corner, I want to create a relaxing corner with a folding chair bed for reading, meditating, and playing the guitar. I want a cleaner desk setup with 2 new tables with adjustable height, one for analog and one for digital work, which is inspired by Austin Kleon and his books. I want to reduce and optimize the maintenance corridor, improve window accessibility, and add acoustic panels for both acoustic and aesthetic reasons. So now that we have a plan and know what to do, let's get it done. The biggest intervention before we could bring and assemble the new furniture was installing the acoustic panels on the long wall. It's been a while ago that we bought these acoustic panels from Woodpasta for a few places in our flat. And being a DIY fan, I was glad it's something you can easily manage to install yourself. It's easy to cut and mount, and it's always nice to put my hands to work and not need to rely on anyone else for simple things like this. I used both possible ways of mounting it, with a glue like on this wall and with screws that I painted white to match the acoustic felt. I really like the panels visually, and this space would really benefit from better acoustics for all the recording I do here. Since all the walls are hollow, there are no curtains or carpets which would absorb the sounds, these acoustic panels are a great fit. At the same time, I won't have this home office forever. It will become a kid's room in a few years. So when planning the redesign, we wanted to go for something of a high quality. Once the acoustic panels were installed, it was time to disassemble the old tables while enlisting the help of our small humans. In this case, my 5-year-old son, who took his role very seriously. He brought his own tools, he had opinions, and yes, he insisted on being in charge of the screws, of course. There's something special about rebuilding a space with someone, even more so when that someone is just discovering how much fun a screwdriver can be. Together we took the old workspace apart and started putting the new one together, one screw at a time. But our work is not done yet. It's time for the details and finishing touches. Hanging up the guitars back, not just as a decoration, but also as a reminder that musical breaks are not a distraction, they're part of the process. I'm using my iPad and augmented reality to try out different ideas for the shelves and frames, testing what should go where before committing. Installing the shelves, drilling, measuring, adjusting, all the slow, quiet work that never makes headlines, but makes the space yours. The new tables move with me now. Standing or sitting, one is for analog, one for digital. The workspace starts to adapt to me and not the other way around. Bit by bit, the room starts to take shape. And finally, the small touches. Cable holders, neatly tucked to the side. A mobile cart for the PC so it's easier to move and clean under. A new ceiling light to soften the room. And reorganized shelves where everything has its place now. Is it a perfect setup now? Surely not, but it's a much better version than before. The layout feels more flexible for sketching, filming, and just moving around. I've got a cozy corner now where I can read, relax, or play Wonderwall on the guitar. The space looks warmer, sounds better, and most importantly, it makes it easier and more frictionless for me to create. Thanks for watching, and if you're designing your own space, I hope this gave you a few ideas and permission to make it yours. Cheers!